tired just sitting here. I'm going to tell you, because you have no idea. Yeah, you do, because you know what day it is. Who's in the room? Who's in the studio? What we're going to talk about. Yeah, we're going to talk about Rhino Julie. But this time, when we talk to Rhino Julie, I'm going to get her to share maybe a little bit of her story so we can really figure out what makes her tick. So sit right there. We'll be right back.
Hey mate, do you want to play with me? Yeah, I can't play right now. I'm doing show notes.
Okay, Rhino Julie, welcome back to the show. I'm so glad to see you. You know, you and I had conversations. We talk, we get on the phone, we can talk for a couple of hours and go, is it really 5 o'clock? We could talk about anything. And you shared with me your story, your journey, you know, of just starting your fitness programs and in a park, you know, trying to get out there. What made you do that? What made you say, you know what? I'm going to stand up and do something that nobody's ever seen before.
Oh man, well, first of all, it all started with a meeting with Rusy Bostangiev. He was a super intimidating client I had, and I remember going to the meeting and I couldn't button my pants. I'd gained 65 pounds, and I used the twist tie from my hair to put it, and then I had a jacket, and it's in Las Vegas, and I'm just sweating, and I was so miserable, and I was like, I can't continue this way. So I need to lose weight, but I'm not willing to go on a diet because I love food too much. So obviously I need to physically torture myself in order to lose weight. So who does that? Oh, the military does that. So maybe I could join the military, do their boot camp. A drill instructor would yell at me, make me lose weight, and then, you know, I would lose the weight. And that is not a good reason.
Yeah, as a veteran.
Thank you for your service.
You don't want to join the military.
Thank you for your
weight.
service. No, it was a passing fancy. Just come on, who hasn't thought? I mean, who hasn't thought about that, right? You see someone come back from boot camp and they look amazing, right?
Yeah.
And so at that time, I looked up fat camps. I was willing to take a second out of my house to be sent somewhere to lose weight because I was that miserable. And I couldn't find anything. And so I was like, you know what? I need to start a boot camp for civilians. And this was before group exercise, before it was, back then there was Kung Fu and kickboxing where you actually had to hit each other. And then there was like your mom's aerobics, which is awesome. Mom's aerobics was great, right? But it wasn't like a boot camp. And so I went to Home Depot, got like telephone pole things, and I got buckets of water, and I started my own boot camp with 2 guys that I knew from the military. I'm like, hey, guys, come out and just torture me. I'm going to get a bunch of people to do this. They're going to pay for it. It's going to be awesome. My friends thought I was nuts. They were all skinny. They didn't understand. They're like, you're going to do what? And they made fun of me. They're like, you're going to take people out to the park. You're going to put them through like a military boot camp, and they're going to pay you for it? Like, yeah, right. And I'm like, you watch me. And then turns out they were kind of right, because the first year I was good at advertising, so people would come out and then they would see this overweight girl with a whistle and camo yelling at them. And then I would do all the exercises with them, but they were like, yeah, no. So that first year I had 1 client, just 1.
Wow.
But that 1 girl made me realize if there's 1 girl in 2 million in Las Vegas out of 2 million people, there's got to be more, and I'm going to find them.
Wow. And I mean, you literally started the whole boot camp trend, and, you know, what was that? Biggest Loser and all of that. You tell the Biggest Loser story. You got to tell it. Come on, you got to tell it.
So I'm sure there's other people doing the same thing at the same time, but I was the only one that I knew of at the time. And fast forward a few years, we actually had, my brother was answering the phones, and he's like, Julie, the Biggest Loser people called. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, Jillian Michaels isn't going to be on the show anymore. And they've had 100,000 applicants. I forget how many it was at the time. And they're not that satisfied with any of them. And they want you to come down to the Biggest Loser Ranch and apply to be on the show. And so I brought my big truck and all my toys and my obstacles and my trailer. And they had me at the Four Seasons, and I pulled up my big truck. I'm like, can you guys valet this thing? And a giant like logs hanging out the back. And I went there and they're like, oh, we've been watching your stuff. And I was like, that is so freaking cool. And they ended up hiring Anna Kournikova. And I mean, she was awesome, but I didn't know how to use any of the 24-hour fitness stuff. And 24-hour fitness was the sponsor.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that wasn't why I was picked. I mean, you know, like it is what it is, but I was in the final four. So.
As a fitness person, as a health, because you're more like living a healthier lifestyle. You're not the screaming from the top of the, you know, standing on the platform screaming, you know, lift 8 more. That's just not, you know, the personality that you have. How do you get past all the personalities with your clients? Because I know they walk it. Her gym used to be a Sears. This is how big her gyms are, okay? There are 3 of them here. You guys, when you come here, it's like the Strip, downtown, Rhino Julie gym. When people come in and they're expecting that, how do you get them to understand it's not about that? It's about their life and being in a better space. How do you do that?
So back in the day, I actually used to market, this is tough, you're gonna be miserable, you might die. Like that used to be our program. And then I started, you know, getting a little more wisdom, aging a little bit, and I started marketing differently. And I always say in our advertisements, we like nice people. Like you don't have to be cool to be a rhino, but you have to be nice. Don't worry, rhinos, you're all cool, okay? You're all cool. But now it's all about being kind to each other and being supportive, because when you're in a supportive environment, you're more likely to push yourself. You're more likely to do things that you didn't think you could do, because you feel safe. And you see someone next to you who's also 60 years old and who has a big weight loss story, and they started not thinking they could do it, and they say, listen, I was where you were, you know, where you are, and now you can do it. Like, look at what I'm able to do now. And that's the inspiring part. And so, no, I don't yell at people anymore.
Well, other than me. No, I'm kidding. She doesn't yell at me either. So what about people that don't live in Vegas? You know, do you have programs or masterminds or anything that connects to people? Because there could be somebody watching this in London or watching it in Florida. What do you tell them? Because every gym is not like the Rhino family gym. So what do you tell them?
So I have the Rhino Julie Forever Foodie weight loss and maintenance program. And I always tell people, I'm like, I'm going to teach you how to be a foodie and fit in your jeans. And so it's all about figuring out how to live a life that you love while feeling good and feeling confident in your skin.
That's amazing. All right, before Alan cuts us off, look at the camera. Tell everybody how to get in touch with you, my friend.
I would love to connect with you on all the socials. I am Rhino Julie everywhere. You can go to rhinojulie.com. Rhino Tough, you are limitless.
That's my friend Rhino Julie. I hope she'll come back and do this again next month. She says yes. All right. You guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, I hope you come back next time, which is usually tomorrow, since we're on 5 days a week. And you know who I am. I'm Tigo. I'll talk to you next time.